In today's episode of Versus, I shall pit the two most badass characters who do nothing in their respective films against each other. Today I am pitting Boba Fett against Captain Phasma. To set up this fight, let's assume that Fett survived the Sarlacc pit as in Legends, and that the Resistance has put a bounty on Captain Phasma, dead or alive, which Fett intends to collect. Both characters are excellent fighters with weapons and hand-to-hand combat, as evident in the books and the comics. So let us look at their equipment. Phasma wears First Order Stormtrooper armor made of chromium, which is shown to be highly resistant to blaster bolts but not electrically charged riot batons. Phasma makes the claim that not even a Wookiee could crush her armor. Phasma also wears an armor-weave cape which is supposed to be resistant to blaster bolts as well. Lastly, Captain Phasma carries a personalized F-11D blaster rifle, a SE-44C blaster pistol, and a Quicksilver baton, which are all coated with chromium. Boba Fett wears Mandalorian armor made of Duraplast rather than Beskar, which is also known as Mandalorian iron, and his armor is designed to reduce damage. However, in Legends he does wear armor made of Durasteel, which, based on my research, seems to be roughly in protection about the same as Duraplast, but a bit more corrosive. But it was hard to tell for sure, so for the sake of this versus video, I'm going to consider them to be roughly equal in protection, so it won't matter what Fett's armor is made of, as long as it's not Beskar. Boba Fett also wears a jetpack, which gives him a height advantage. Lastly, Boba Fett's main weapon is a EE-3 carbine rifle. The Fett is also armed with a wrist-mounted flamethrower, a wrist-mounted blaster, a wrist-mounted concussion rocket launcher, a wrist-mounted fiber cord whip, and his jetpack can launch a small rocket. Lastly, let us look at personality. Simply put, Phasma will do anything to survive, and Fett is very devoted to any bounty he takes on and will stick with that bounty till he has completed it. On to the actual battle between the two. But before I begin, please take a moment to answer the poll in the cards on who you will think will win. So Fett's biggest advantage over Phasma is his wide range of ranged weapons and his jetpack. As such, if the fight were to take place in a starship corridor that requires close quarters combat, Fett would have a difficult time against Phasma's baton, with his flamethrower being his only feasible weapon in such a case, especially if it's very close quarter. As such, the fight shall take place in a relatively open area where they both can use most of their assets to the best of their ability. And let's say this open area is somewhere on Jakku. Fett's best option is to stay at range using his jetpack and uses his arsenal to wear down Phasma's armor with his explosive weaponry. As such, we shall go with that. Fett should also try to target Phasma's ranged weapons to limit range attacks by Phasma. But eventually Fett will have to close range in order to claim the bounty if he wants the more lucrative reward for bringing in Phasma alive. It is likely that Phasma would give up if Fett is able to damage her armor and present a threat to her life. So in a fight where both Phasma and Fett survive, Fett will win. However, in a fight to the death, Fett will also win. That is simply because Fett has the necessary weaponry to damage Phasma's armor, and at close range, his flamethrower can get between the plates of Phasma armor and give for third-degree burns, which would give Fett the opportunity to make the fatal blow or shot, killing Phasma. So there you have it. In the fight, Boba Fett will defeat Captain Phasma in that fight, regardless of whether it's a fight to the death or not. Let me know in the comments, what do you think will happen in the fight between the two, and if you agree with my conclusion. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for future Star Wars content. Also consider following me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Not only do you help support the channel, but you also get extra goodies such as commentaries on my videos and sneak peeks. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.